everybody, welcome back to the West End Corner podcast. Today I'm joined with a very special guest. He is a super fan of The Masked Singer and also co-runs Jamie Musical. It's Mathew Seaman. Hello.
Hello. Thank you for having me on.
Thanks for coming. How are you?
I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. I'm surviving anyway. How are you?
I'm alright. How's lockdown been?
It's been okay. Yeah, I'm fine. I'm just sort of getting on with it and keeping busy in certain different ways, but I'm fine. Yeah. Yeah.
Brilliant. So, I thought we'd start off with The Masked Singer, the one everyone's probably watching this for. I wanted to, well, first of all, I'm going to explain what it is, because if anybody doesn't watch it, basically it's a show where celebrities sing, and you basically have to guess who they are, because they're obviously in disguise with a mask, outfit, costume. So you have to guess who they are, and Matt likes that aspect of it. So he's got TikToks and stuff all about them. So I wanted to ask you, who do you think's behind all of the remaining people?
Right. Okay. I have my guesses and I'm going to stick with them all. I think Robin is Aston Marigold from JLS. I think that's the only one that's 100% certain. Badger is Neo, the American artist, and Sausage is Joss Stone.
Okay. So what is it about the show that you like so much?
I didn't really like it last year. I remember they did at the same time last year they did a series. The first time it had been in the UK, it started in America first and Korea before that. It was a Korean concept, but I just thought it was a bit rubbish last year, and I don't know why. I just didn't get into it. I didn't know half of the celebrities. I just thought it was the lowest form of entertainment, which it probably is. But this year, I guess we just have nothing to do. We need something entertaining to keep us going, and it's silly and it's fun, and I think that's exactly what we need right now. And there's a lot of seriousness on TV and on social media, and I think to literally be spending my time guessing who is behind the sausage costume kind of sums up like what we need right now, and it's just fun. And it's I've always been into like sort of celebrity stuff, so it's just been a nice way to stay entertained in lockdown.
What do you think of people thinking that Sausage is Sheridan Smith?
So, this series was the first time I realized that anyone actually discusses it on Twitter. So I'd go over to Twitter after each performance and sort of have a look at who people were saying they thought they were, and there was a clear pattern of like Aston for Robin and Neo for Badger, Gabrielle for Harlequin, and then I saw people saying Sheridan for Sausage, and I was thinking, hang on a minute, I'm just taking their word on these other ones, but I don't know how you're thinking that sounds like Sheridan, because I feel like I know Sheridan's voice quite well. I saw her in Funny Girl a couple of times. She's amazing, but that's not her voice. I'm certain of it. So I basically just made it my mission to find out who it was and prove to the world that it wasn't Sheridan. And if it is her, if it does turn out to be her, I don't even know what I'll do.
You have to hide. Yeah, I watched that musical show and I was like, after watching her on that, I was like, I don't think it is her.
Yeah, that was a good example of what she sounds like. I think she's got quite a specific tone.
Yeah. So were you a fan of Joss Stone before the show or just from the show?
Yeah, exactly. I wasn't. I hadn't heard of her before. I think the only time I'd ever heard of Joss Stone was through my dad trying to say Jess Glynn and getting the name wrong. So yeah, I've only discovered her through this. I saw a few comments of people saying that it sounded like Joss Stone, but only the odd one. So I started listening to her music, and in discovering that she probably is Sausage, I've just sort of fallen in love with her music, and I think she's really good.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to ask you to share some 3 facts about you that we may not know about you.
That you may not know. Okay. Well, I used to. I don't think anyone knows this. I used to do magic like properly. I used to be like a magician at parties and stuff for like kids and stuff, which was yeah, it was quite fun. I was part of the like the youth section of the magic circle, and I have like boxes for the magic. I really should get back into it, but that was a big hobby of mine. So yeah, that's one fact. Did you say three?
3 or as many as you can. 2 is fine.
Two, I am a quarter Italian. Yeah. And three, oh no.
You've gone viral for posting about a sausage.
Yeah, I think people might know that fact. Three, I used to run a Doctor Who society at my secondary school, and we had one of the actors in called Arthur Darvill to do a talk.
Oh, very nice. I'm now going to ask you a bit about lockdown, because obviously that's what we're going through. How have you found it? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Middle?
I loved it the first time round. It was, although it was the most weird one, the most sort of frustrating one in the sense that no one knew what was going on. It was new and exciting in the sense that we could all just like learn new things and get like build new skills and spend each day in a different way. And it was the summer, so we could walk and it would just be nicer. Um, and there was a kind of novelty in being apart from friends. It was like weird, and you could do these Zooms and stuff, and it was all new. Whereas now it's just like hurry up, and I just want to see people again. I'm kind of sick of this now, but it's fine, and I've got virtual uni, but it's kind of when you're stuck. I mean, I'm an only child, so when you're sort of stuck indoors all day in the same rooms, it's kind of hard to find the motivation that you would normally find in the real world. So I'm just looking forward to things hopefully opening up towards Easter time or maybe a bit after that.
What have you been doing to keep busy? Anything?
Well, you've seen Ella, haven't you? All my stories. That's all I've been doing.
That's it?
Basically, it. I'm really not good at like exercise or anything like that. I'm really bad at motivating myself to do that. And my sleep pattern is really, really shockingly bad at the moment. But I just sort of I get like an idea or I get a sort of project started and I just as you know I can't do anything in halves. So it was one day I was posting on my story being like I think sausage is Joss Stone. To the next day I said it on the ITV Hub on their mini series. To the next day I'm in the Sun talking about it. Like it's so I find things to keep me occupied and I managed to drag them out longer than they probably should be. But at the moment that's what I've been doing. Yeah.
Yeah, you need to find another TV show after. It's going to end next week. What are you going to do?
Apparently they're doing The Masked Dancer in the UK, which is
Oh, I saw it in America. Yeah.
like over towards Easter. They're doing a UK version of that, and the fifth or sixth, I don't know, series of The Masked Singer in America is starting there. So I need to find a way to be able to watch that.
Okay, so what's something you're missing during lockdown, but something you've also gained from lockdown?
Ooh, that's a good question. I'm obviously missing my friends. I feel like what I'm realizing is the friends you're closest to, you do stay in touch with, and you keep close contact with. I managed to see some of them when the rules were easing at one point to go for walks and stuff. So I'm not like missing them as much as you'd expect. It's more the people that I'm less close with that I'm missing, like the people that you just see, every now and then, see it days out, when we'd see each other at Jamie or that sort of thing, that you'd have these constant people in your life that maybe you wouldn't have like the closest relationship with, but it's just like they're nice constants in your life, and that's the people I'm missing. I'm missing like the fan events and the gatherings and sort of socializing. I really miss that. Oh, and one thing I've gained, yeah. What have I gained? I guess I've gained the some perspective, just perspective in general. Just the, I feel like my one of my big flaws, of many, but one of my big flaws was that I would always, no matter what I was doing, I'd always be planning towards the next thing, whether it be a Jamie related thing. I'd always have the next project in my head. I'd never be able to just stand there and appreciate what I'm doing right now. So lockdown is nice for that because I've spent a lot of time sort of reflecting on what I have done, on how I have spent my time, and everything is dragged out a little bit slower now. And it's nice because it allows you the perspective to appreciate what you're doing. And I think that's valuable.
Nice, I like that. So I'm going to ask everyone this that comes on my podcast. But do you have favourites of the week? So any favourite TV shows, albums you've been listening to? Well, we know one of them, but
Well, yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, because I saw your episode yesterday where you said your favorites. I mean, okay, obviously the Mars Singer, that's a given. I know it's really obvious because I've been speaking about her, but I really would recommend that you listen to a bit of Joss Stone, especially the track "Walk with Me." It's really, really great. Also, obviously you mentioned it, but the musicals, The Greatest Show on BBC, that was really nice to see something sort of theatrical on mainstream primetime TV. That was good because we don't normally, the industry doesn't get that sort of airtime normally. And I feel like you might have said you like this, but I might be imagining that. Not going out. I just like
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I watched that with my family every
anything
week.
Lee Mack. Would I Lie to You? That's on a Monday night, and all the old Not Going Outs on BBC iPlayer. I'm really into that.
There's so many, so you can binge watch that if you're bored in lockdown.
Lee Mack is just his humor. It's very very fast and very funny.
Now I want to talk about Jamie.musical slash theatre. Um, I actually want to know, how many years have you been running Jamie.musical?
Um, I've been running James Up Musical with Grace since 2018. So that like 3 years of it. It's crazy. It's really weird.
How much are you missing theatre, and what's the first show you want to see when everything goes back to normal?
Being completely honest with you, I've missed theatre less than one would expect since the lockdown started. I think there's a risk that with the sort of personality I have, and that quite a lot of us in the theatre world have, that going back to the show becomes sort of a habit, and I did get into a routine of just going back all the time, and I think the breaks allowed me to appreciate the show and appreciate that I don't have to keep seeing it to appreciate it. So I'm looking forward to when musicals come back and when theatre comes back, because I love just going to the theatre, and it's but like my dad always says, if you go too much, it loses its like special factor. It's meant to be something that's unique and like a treat. And I, going to uni in central London, there's a risk that I sort of just went for the sake of it sometimes, and I don't want to do that. So I have missed it, and I'm looking forward to it coming back. And I was lucky enough to see Jamie in the 2 days that it managed to come back in December. But I'm really hoping that things do open up sort of May time, because there's a lot of new stuff as well. Like, I'm not a fan of Andrew Lloyd Webber's shows as such, but he's got his new musical opening, and Back to the Future and things like that. And so it's just going to be really joyous when it all comes back. I can't wait.
Have you discovered any new musicals and that you enjoy listening to? Albums?
I actually don't really ever listen to musicals. I mean, I used to listen to Jamie quite a lot. I think what I tend to do is when there's a new show that I'm about to see, I'll listen to the soundtrack the cast recording loads before it. So like Kinky Boots, or when it was Bend It Like Beckham, or maybe Company. And around the time that I'm seeing it, I'll listen to it. But now there hasn't been theatre, I guess I haven't really naturally, instinctively listened to any cast recordings. But I'm looking forward to Back to the Future releasing theirs, because that is, it's going to be quite exciting, because I'm a big fan of the film.
So have you watched any like live streams, like there was Ren, or have you just?
I did see I watched Fiverr. They did their concert version, and I watched that. That was really good. We watched the Jamie one night only with.
Oh yeah. I forgot I did that. That seems like ages ago.
Yeah, it was quite a while ago, and that was fun. I feel like there's been more stuff, but there's always stuff going on. And that is the great thing about theatre, that they have found ways to still bring it to us in forms, whether that be Leighton and his workshops, or whoever.
Yeah. Would you like to talk about is it MIA the musical table read? Like, how was the experience? Obviously, you can't say too much, but did you enjoy the experience?
Yeah, so that's Mia the musical. It's a new it's a brand new musical by Catherine Mintzer, and the two music writers are Joseph Petrura Riley and Sheridan Lloyd, I think. Anyway, I don't know how it happened really. They did an open casting call for auditions on Instagram, and I sort of auditioned for it with a monologue, and suddenly I was offered the lead male for their read through, and it was a table read on Zoom. We did it a couple of weeks ago, and it was so fun. But I love performing and I love singing and stuff, but I've not really done anything like that since A-level drama. So it was nice to sort of be in a group of people reading through a script, and it's a really good script. It's very funny and it's very meaningful. It's about mental health. So yeah, I'm not sure whether I'm going to remain a part of that project or not at the moment, but they are planning to, when they get funding, to hopefully make a charity cast recording, and to do a table read for an audience online, and then hopefully bring it to Fringe Theatre and take it from there. But I would love to hopefully see where that goes, and it's a really good project.
Brilliant. To round things up, I thought you'd play a game. I know,
Yes.
how exciting.
Love a game.
This is just really simple. I just found it. Word association game.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, I'm just going to say a few words and just say the first thing that came to your mind.
Yeah.
See what happens. Okay, the first one. Sausage.
Joss.
Disney.
Minnie.
Oh. Sheridan Smith.
Funny.
Music.
Language.
Heels.
Music.
Morning.
Bright.
Sky.
Vast.
Sheffield.
Crucible.
And lockdown.
Long.
Okay, so the last thing I'm going to do a random fact of the day. Because I did one last time. Do you know that Palace Theatre had 2 seats permanently bolted open for the ghosts up until Harry Potter was put in there, and then they took it down.
The Palace Theatre did?
Yeah.
Wow.
The public couldn't use it.
I wonder what about Harry Potter made them take that away.
Probably it was all sold out. So they were like, we need the 2 seats. So that's it. Thank you for joining me. It was good fun.
Thank you for having me.
And I'm looking forward to your sausages on Saturday.
So I'm terrified.
I hope you're right, honestly. For your sake, I really hope you're right.
I think I'm just overthinking it at this point. I think it is Joss.
Yeah.
I think it has to be. And if it isn't, I don't know what I'll do. But it's going to be funny either way.
Well, we'll see. Is it ITV? ITV on
Yeah,
Saturday?
ITV1, 7 p.m.
7 p.m, who knows? Thank you.
Thank you.